Quorum is present.
Excuse me, Mayor. Mayor, this is Artie. We have an item that we're pulling, H3.
H3
H3.
pulled.
We don't have a clock on. My name is Alfonso Parker. I'm a Vietnam veteran, 66, 67, conscious objector. If you don't know what that means, you celebrated one of the greatest conscious objectors that ever said no to the military, which was Muhammad Ali, and you celebrated him for not even participating. I am one that did of many that went and did our duty to our country, although we lived up to our religious beliefs. No weapons. It's a part of what here, because you speak of the VA in here, and it all ties together. But before I get to that, this under the police issue here, where you want to contract to Centinela Medical Center to have access, for them to have access to their top floors of the roof, to create a city-wide surveillance center with all equipment necessary to do so. And it states at the very end here, with no incurred cost to the city. Well, that remains to be seen. But the major cost is you give up your privacy. Now you're going to have, you have a helicopter probably pad on the top of this building. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't put it past it. I bet you do. But now you want to put it on another tall building where you're surveying the whole city, sacrificing our privacy for whatever. And you have a bad history of misusing that information. Okay? So I think, and you police yourselves. That's a major problem I got. You can do all you want to, good or bad, but you shouldn't be policing yourself no kind of way. We noticed the killing that happened up here. We heard nothing, but you have all the information. When I say you policeman too, but we don't know anything. We haven't heard a thing. And this is what happens when you have self-policing. The people know nothing. The next thing is changing of funds from to home. Who is home? You know, when did national security take precedence over we the people? There's nothing wrong with our Constitution. We can check ourselves. What we don't need is you nonprofits, particularly the VA, which is in here now, which I was getting to over here, that you embrace. I've been speaking for years. It's been in Inglewood. There's money there, a gold mine there, but you want to take them on now and recognize them and partner with them for 10 cents on the veteran's dollar. That money, for years, since I've been coming in here, I told you, veteran, the VA pays them their money. The veteran can get his own health. He can pay taxes on it, and we got the highest taxes. It's a gold mine. It's a gold mine, but you bring in now, all of a sudden, the Veterans Administration, who is the culprit and the greatest, I'm going to tell you, the greatest atrocity agent that was ever committed, not only in this country, but this world, because we're supposed to be a democracy. The VA was created in the first place as a terrorist organization, military terrorist organization.
Your time is Sparker.
Can I get one more minute?
No, sir.
I like you.
I like you too. Close public comment. Madam Clerk, would you call?
Sure. A quorum is present.
And list item 1, CSA 1, H1.
Warrant register.
Allow for payments.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. Item 2, CSA 2, H2, and F1.
That's the consent.
It's under the consent, Mayor.
Call the whole thing?
Oh, is it, oh, excuse me. F1, item 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
CSA.
Okay.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. CSA. Oh, okay, we'll have to call CSA 3 and H3, which were also in consent. So just have a motion.
That was under
And H3
consent.
is pulled. CSA 3, just a motion to approve.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members, Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. SPH 1.
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider an appeal of the Planning Commission denial of a special use permit 1233 to allow a beauty shop within the 300 feet of a similar use at 10925 South Crenshaw Boulevard, Inglewood, 9.
To the public hearing for June 28th at 2 p.m. P1.
Presentation on veterans homeless by Director and Outreach Anthony Allman of the Vets Advocacy.
5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, staff. My name is Anthony Allman. I'm an Army veteran. I served from 2001 to 2003. I'm here to talk today about the West LA redevelopment plan. I don't know if you all are aware of what's going on. The Vets Advocacy organization is not the VA. We're a nonprofit organization. In fact, members of our board sued the VA. The VA settled the lawsuit in January 2015. Over the next year, we worked with veterans in the community to create what's called the Draft Master Plan. I believe some of you have that in front of you. To break down the plan, the plan's over 300 pages, but to sum it down, the goal is to add approximately 1,200 units of permanent supportive housing for the veteran community in the Brentwood area. If you're not familiar with the West LA VA facility, it was deeded to the federal government in 1888 for the specific purpose of housing disabled veterans west of the Rockies. At one point in time, shortly after the Korean War, about 5,000 veterans used to live on that campus. Today, roughly 247 veterans live on that campus, so the land definitely has capacity for more veterans in the community. At the last point in time count, there was a little over 3,000 homeless veterans in LA County, and we think that this property at a minimum can house 40% of those homeless veterans. The reason why I'm here today is to educate the council on the plan, hopefully gather your support for the plan, and discuss what happens now. The plan has been officially adopted by the VA. Our role, Vets Advocacy, is now to go out there and educate the cities to hopefully increase demand for that housing. The initial track is going to be 1,200 units. That can expand up to 4,000 units, but it all depends on demand. And because we believe that cities are on the front line of homelessness, working with the cities in LA County, we can generate the demand to maximize utilization of that campus. The campus not only calls for an increase in housing, but a total revamping of all the reintegration services on that campus, from job training to education, a whole slew of things that you need coming back home. I realize I don't have too much time, but I grew up here in Los Angeles. I came back from the military as 20 years old at the time. I didn't know I was a veteran. I thought to be a veteran you had to serve in Vietnam or World War II. It never even occurred to me to go to that campus. And one of the things that we're going to do with this campus, in addition to providing housing, is provide all the other services that a veteran might need to attract them to that campus so that they can access health care in a more efficient manner. The reintegration services are highly fractured, and we need to consolidate that, and we think that the West LA VA campus is a place to do that for the county. I know a lot of other cities are working on scatter site projects. If you all are working on any other veteran housing initiatives, we'd love to work with you on that, and we hope that we get the support of the city of Inglewood. There's a draft letter of support that we're hoping that you all sign. And that basically says that you've looked at the draft master plan and that you agree with it, and that you support the legislation that's required to build housing. And the final thing is that you appoint a point of contact within the city for us to work with in the months ahead. That's all I have. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them at this time.
No, that'll be good. I'm going to modify the recommendation that staff prepare a letter of support to be submitted to the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs after each individual council member contacts Mr. Fields to indicate that they have been able to browse the master plan and give their concurrence. But that's my motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla, Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. There's no oral
you,
reports
Mayor.
from the city attorney's office.
CM1.
No oral reports from the city manager.
CC1.
No reports.
We have a trend going here. CT1.
Stop snapping. Just like to give a brief report of the bonds that I have invested at May 31st. These are the bond securities. This does not include the bond proceeds. And the bonds are $33,659,889. And the CDs or certificate of deposits are $2,500,000. Total bonds invested plus CDs is $36,159,889. And I'd also like to just give a report regarding the the Hoover Dam trip that I attended with Director Gray last week. I also did the Orville report in Delta. The city manager was there also. It was very interesting 2-day. Well, the first was a 2-day, but the Hoover Dam was a 3-day, where you really learn an awful lot about water, the sources and the pumping, and also the pumping destinations to its various clients. And they have 11 clients. Matter of fact, Dee Dee Brown was also there, so she was there. A number of people from the city of Inglewood did attend that very interesting tour. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. City, public comments. Anyone wishing to address any item that is not covered on the agenda that relates to city business may do so now for 1 minute.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council Member, Charles Bragg's First District. As a member of the CERT team, I'm proud to announce that starting the 13th of August, we're holding and having our first Teen CERT training program from Inglewood High School. We're training the Cadet Corps for emergency preparedness, and all of you are invited. And as you know, we do have our second class going on now. It started on the 7th of July and ends on the 27th. But we're proud to announce that we now have the high schoolers wanting to be involved in the CERT program, the Community Emergency React program. And you're invited to come say hello.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alfonso Parker Jr., you know who I am. I won't waste my seconds on that. I never inferred that this advocacy agency was the VA. They are nothing but the bounty hunters, like many advocacies are, to carry out the government trashing of records, burning, setting fires, and killing veterans. That's what they do at that VA, and I make it, and I hope the TV on. By the way, my number's 323-842-3363. Call me. I can show you. Been there, done that. This here, we don't need all of this here. We can take care of ourselves if you give us what we deserve, what was allocated to us by the courts and everything else. We don't need to be under your auspices. After 6 years of obligation, you were supposed to send us home. Send us home so we can take care of our own family and our own kids. We don't need you anymore. That's how we got to where we are now, and mostly black veterans. By the way, California has the largest number of veterans in the nation. Put all the nations together, their numbers are less than half of our numbers here in California.
Council members, I was not here 16 minutes ago when you began the meeting, so I don't know that you did in fact modify the agenda or not. But if you have not, is it your intention to not allow the public to speak? Because it does not appear on the agenda I got off the table out here. So I would hope that we would do that little bit of housekeeping correctly, because as far as I know, the public should have the right to speak to you. So, you know, obviously it's not agendized on mine, maybe on yours. I appreciate the fact that you've continued that today. I hope that doesn't mean that in the future you won't. Just a little bit of housekeeping.
My name is Willie Agee, and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. I don't have too much to say, but I support whatever decision this council makes on this P1. As a disabled veteran, combat veteran myself, I don't think you can do too much for these veterans, you know, because there's a lot of veterans out there that's suffering. Just drive up and down the street. You know, and to to have a place for them to go and stay and maybe get them healthy again so they'll be able to go out in society and live like normal human beings instead of sleeping on the streets. I'd be willing to pay more taxes to get that done. If the council supports this gentleman, I support it also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Agee. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. I'm Robert Pulliam Miles with the Office of Assemblywoman Autumn Burke. I just came by to invite the community out to a community event we're going to have here in the city of Inglewood. It's the Replace Your Ride Smogless Saturdays. Now, what this is a Replace Your Ride event that we're doing with the AQMD, where you have the opportunity to come to learn about the program and to determine your eligibility and to get signed up for the replacement process. The Replace Your Ride program, it allows eligible car owners to receive up to $90,000 to $9,500 to replace their old ride with a clean emissions vehicle. So you turn in that high pollutant vehicles for a clean vehicle, and you're going to get a subsidies from the government to incentivize that. So we're going to be at CarMax here in the city of Inglewood. Everyone knows what CarMax is located at Los Angeles, 8611 South Los Angeles Boulevard. June the 25th at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can come learn about the program, and there's also going to be people who's already in the program. They're going to be going through the process of replacing their vehicle. We're also going to have a demonstration of what we do with the vehicles once you replace your vehicle, your high pollutant vehicles, with a new energy efficient vehicle. We're going to have a demonstration where we're going to crush the vehicle, and so you'll see how we get those vehicles off the road. So we're inviting everyone to come out to learn about the program. Once again, it's Saturday, June the 25th at 10 a.m. at the CarMax here in the city of Inglewood. Of course, it's a free event open to the community, and all are welcome. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor, staff. My name is Alvin Sly, and I haven't been to too many meetings over the last couple of months, 3-4 months. I pop in every now and then. But the last time I came, I requested a report regarding Inglewood's water. I was promised that I would get that report, and I have not to date received any information, Mr. Dodson. And also, I was wondering, I heard a rumor that on Manchester and Fifth Avenue, you're going to allow another Family Dollar store or something when we have a 99-cent store right around the corner on Crenshaw, across Manchester. And I was wondering, that facility was perfect for a school for young men who were interested in mechanics to have a school there. It was perfectly set up for that. But I can't understand why you wouldn't think a little bit forward and why would you put a Family Dollar store there? I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the rumor going around. And I still would like to have a report on Inglewood's water. Thank you.
Here, close public comment, council comments, Councilman Dodson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I'd like to talk about last Saturday we had our annual Relay for Life fundraiser for American Cancer Society at Crozier High School. I want to thank all of you who had attended those and those of you who had contributions to Team Dodson. If you were unable to attend and wish to contribute,
To Team Dodson. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You can still do so by contacting my office at 310-412-8602 up until August 1st. I especially want to thank Flip It Cafe for their pancake breakfast, Pancho's Restaurant, and Bill Campbell of Allstate for providing breakfast and water for our volunteers. Please save the date, July 16th, 2016, for District 1's Family Day in the Park. It would be held at Edward Benson Park at 700 Warren Lane. Starts at 12 p.m. and will end at 6 p.m. We'll have live entertainment. The pool will be open, and you can play basketball, softball. There will be a canine demonstration as well as sack races and a lot more. Before I end my comments, I would be remiss if I did not say or ask you or tell you to please pray for the city of Orlando and the families and friends and the first responders who were affected by the tragedy in their city Sunday morning. As far as the dollar store is concerned, I have not heard one way or other what's going to be there, but if someone buys the property and it is owned in that particular area, we basically have to let them have it. That property has been sale for years. Nobody bought it, so we will know when they tell us. As far as the water is very clean in Inglewood, one of the cleanest in the city, but I will make sure that you get the paperwork from Ms. Sly from Public Works. With that, I thank you all for coming. We always appreciate your comments. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Councilman Padilla.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a couple of comments. Again, Relay for Life was a huge success. We had 22 teams that gathered for that 12-hour event, and we raised, I think the number as of a few minutes ago was $50,264. So please give yourselves a round of applause. A job very well done. I also want to thank my wife Stella and others that helped us with the raffle prizes. We had several raffle prizes out there, and the raffle prizes alone, we raised about $2,500 for the raffle prizes. Again, all these proceeds goes to fight cancer. And so, again, I want to thank the community for coming out to support us. I want to thank Sabrina Barnes and her staff from Parks and Recreation and Library Services, and the staff from Relay for Life. They put together a tremendous event. I want to thank the mayor, the other council members and staff that were out there in support of Relay for Life. This Saturday, June 18th at 11 a.m., we're doing the grand opening of the Community Center in District 2. Although it's in District 2, it's the City of Inglewood's Community Center. Everyone is welcome to come out and celebrate the grand opening of this community center. That place has been sitting vacant for 18 years, and we finally have something that we're proud of on that site. The ribbon cutting ceremonies will kick off at 11:30. We're going to have some food, some refreshments, and again, another opportunity for the community to come together to celebrate all the positive, all the good things that are happening in the city of Inglewood, and look forward to seeing you all there this Saturday, June 18th at 11 a.m. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Franklin, District 4.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'll piggyback with my colleagues regarding the Relay for Life. Being a cancer survivor for the past 11 years, I definitely appreciated the compassion, the camaraderie, and the outreach of people valuing the need to find a cure, helping those that are fighting the good fight of faith now and those that have passed before us. Also want to acknowledge that the Councilman Padilla acknowledged that there was over $50,000 raised. I want to qualify that $50,000 goes to the American Cancer Society. It does not share the love, investment, and compassion of businesses and council members and other volunteers to establish their 22 teams, purchases of T-shirts, meals, etc., including the tote bags that you just heard earlier that was provided. Also food from the Allstate Insurance Company, the agent, Mr. Billy Campbell, which leads me into another segue that Billy Campbell happens to be my insurance agent, and I was sorry to hear the loss of your sister, being Ann Campbell Oliver. And so, Mayor, I'll ask that you close in honor of the Campbell family, and we'll hold you up in prayer. Also, if we didn't do this yet, I want to make sure that we reach out to Mary Razan's mother. Did we do it last week? Okay. So I just want to make sure that Mr. Padilla and I did visit the family, and the service was today, and it was definitely a tearjerker when you lose your mother, grandmother, family member. The loss is a void that it takes a while for your spirit to heal, and so we reach out to them for that. And also want to raise the fact that I want to reach out to the Public Works Department, the city manager's office, as well as Golden State Water, because we had a challenge this past weekend. We had not one but two water main breaks near the intersection of Imperial and Crenshaw. And both the city staff, because it was Golden State Water, both the city staff was on to monitor the progress with Golden State's crew to make sure the project went forward and completed, because a number of businesses and households in the surrounding area was disrupted. Finally, my concluding comments, I want to wish every father happy Father's Day this weekend. I get a chance finally to give my wife or my kids my honey-do list and let them do some of the work instead of Papa always doing all the work. On that, have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Morales.
Thank you. Just briefly, I had the opportunity to go to a couple of the graduations at the forum last week, and just was so impressed not only with the family's commitment, but Inglewood High School, Morningside High School, and City Honors. I was actually there as a guest for folks that I knew, and I was impressed with what the universities that they were getting into, everything from UCLA to UC Davis to all the UC schools, as well as a lot of state schools, you know. And I thought about how difficult it must have been to go with the stigma that sometimes arises in that school district, but how proud they were. And I have to say that, you know, we should be very proud of those kids because of what they carry with them when they go off to college and how proud they are of the city that they're from. So I was just impressed with that. I wanted to mention that. As far as Saturday, in regards to Cancer Relay Walk, always a great success. Just a reminder of how great our community is, how great the families are, and how great the businesses that have always been supportive of us throughout these events. I mean, they bring us the food when we need it, and these are the small business folks that are part of our community. It's just, again, a reminder of how great the folks are here in the city, and, you know, we're fortunate that everything that's happening now, we hope they benefit from as well. So that's all I got, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. I just wanted to address Councilman Dodson's analysis about the placement of businesses in the city. The reality is that the city does not control private parcels of land except for zoning and other regulatory powers the city possesses. But if there is a building and it is in a properly zoned area, the city has limited impact on a use that fits a conforming use. So the city doesn't want any type of store, doesn't promote any type of store over another. We just make sure that the businesses are in the areas where they're zoned to be. So wanted to make that clear. And I hadn't heard that a dollar store was coming there or not, but the reality is if it's zoned properly, there's no say the city has about it. I want to close the meeting in the name of Ann Campbell Oliver and give my condolences to the Campbell family, and we're adjourned.
Sir?